obedience doesn't always look like we think it's going to look. I didn't know what it would feel like to leave behind my whole life, my whole family, my home, my everything I had built. And everyone would say like, oh, the Lord is going to bless you for that faithfulness, for that obedience. The Lord is going to bless you. Sometimes in our culture, we think blessings are like, we think of the prosperity gospel, maybe. We think like God's going to open doors for you. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be all the things. And actually what I'm learning in this season is like, blessed are the poor in spirit. The act of obedience comes grieving and comes hard times. But our desire is that above all is that we would be people of God that just like follow God, that follow his voice, that know his voice and can go where he leads us.
Welcome to the Worship Robs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 354 of the Worship Robs podcast. Welcome back, friends. Man, I've got a seriously great episode for you today. So, man, grab that cold brew coffee and buckle up. Or if you're in my house, maybe a diet ski. People ask me all the time, what's diet ski? It's just a cola from the Midwest. It's not very popular, but I grew up on it. I love it. It's part of my life. Grab a cup or glass and, man, just sit back, buckle up. We're mixing it up, as you know, for the last few weeks. And so as always, we've got some classic prayer concerns that, man, I hope they make you laugh and just encourage your heart. And then I have an incredible conversation that I had recently with our dear friend, Brooke Nicholls. Brooke Nicholls was with us, way back in 2019, episode 18 of the podcast. She also blessed our coaching network when we had one. We don't have one anymore. But when we had one, she came in and blessed us and led us in worship. And man, she's just a dear friend. And you guys, she is storming Canada for Jesus. She is a force. She and her husband are doing great things on staff at local church, as well as touring, and they're doing all kinds of great stuff. And storming Canada. And we love that. We love Brooke and we want to support her. And she just dropped a new single. It's called Whatever You Say. So make sure you go grab that. We love everything that Brooke does. And so make sure you go grab her new single, Whatever You Say. And thanks again so much for tuning in today. Before we dive in any further, I want to give some love to our amazing sponsors. I mean, the folks at Planning Center. What more can you say about Planning Center? They're just unbelievable. They've revolutionized how we do our ministry and communicate and share files. And then, man, our new friends at DC Pro LVA. Guys, I'm here to tell you, if you have a production upgrade that you're working on at your church, or you're building a building, or you need somebody to just kind of come in and help make sense out of the gear you have already, hit them up. You can reach them through the link in our bio, DC Pro LVA. Our brother, Daniel Connell, just a dear man who loves Jesus, and it's his heart to serve you. And they always say they want to serve you from concept to completion. And so I'm going to tell you about these two amazing companies real quick. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. Prayer Concerns is brought to you by DC Pro LVA. They specialize in transforming worship experiences with professional lighting, video, and audio solutions tailored for churches. Their team understands the unique production needs of churches and delivers cutting-edge equipment and personalized service to enhance services, events, and special gatherings. From vibrant LED walls and crystal clear audio systems to dramatic lighting designs, DC Pro LVA provides reliable, volunteer-friendly solutions that amplify your message and create a welcoming atmosphere for your congregation. Choose DC Pro LVA to elevate your church's worship environment with seamless production support. Their thorough design approach and dedicated team ensure your services run smoothly, engaging worshipers and fostering connection. Visit dcprolva.com or find them through the link in our bio to explore how their customized solutions can equip and empower your team, making every moment of worship unforgettable. Partner with DC Pro LVA today to create a powerful and inspiring experience for your church. Well, the Worship Probs podcast is thrilled to have a friend back with us today, Brooke Nicholls, all the way from Vancouver, Canada. How are you? It's so good to have you back.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. I'm so good. Just drinking my Canadian Tim Hortons coffee over here. Having a great day.
Well, it's been way too long and really been looking forward to talking again. How's your summer been?
Yeah, so far it's been great. I just got off of a tour actually about 3 weeks ago. So just back home, settling in and enjoying where we live here in Vancouver. It's beautiful mountains, beautiful ocean. So yeah, really enjoying it.
Man, I love it. I love it so much. Well, okay, we like to have a little fun. So Brooke Nicholls, welcome to the hot seat. I got 5 rapid fire questions. They're really easy. You'll be great. Okay, number 1, burger or salad? What's your choice?
A burger.
Burger. Yeah, me too. Me too. I think we might be related. I've always thought that. But okay, number 2, what's the last song you played on your phone?
Oh, it was Chris Renzema. Springtime.
Nice. Okay, number 3, if you were going to pick a superpower, what would you choose?
Mind reading.
Oh, nice. Nice. Mind reading. Okay. Number 4, do you have a favorite comfort food?
I do. Salt and vinegar chips.
Ooh, nice. Don't you have ketchup chips as well?
Oh yeah, that's number 2 for comfort food, ketchup chips.
Okay. All right. I've actually had those. I have a friend who lives in Sarnia, Ontario, and he brings me ketchup chips sometimes. Shout out to Luke. Okay, number 5. This is the last one. Is there a little known fact about Brooke Nicholls that people might find hard to believe?
Oh, geez. I mean, probably like 1 million things. Okay, I have a funny fact about me is that I don't like expensive coffee. Anytime I travel or I go somewhere, people are always trying to let's go to this amazing coffee shop. And I love a good vibe. I love a cool space and a cool spot. So I'm all down. But all I really want is this dollar coffee.
Man.
Or a McDonald's coffee. Maybe maybe in the States that'd be equivalent to Dunkin' Donuts or something. So, but I feel every time I say oh, I prefer that over that, people are like, what? I don't I'm so used to drinking gas station coffee that's what I've become that's what I love now.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so excited to have you back on today. You have always been a great friend for us and the community, and you were with us back on episode 18. And I feel
Crazy.
like such a doink that it's been so long. This is ridiculous. And you joined us back in 2020 to lead worship for the Worship Probs Coaching Network. And
Yeah.
if memory serves, you you had not really told anybody yet that you were expecting. And so like you got on the call and you were like saltines and stuff, and she did it like a champ, man. And I want to tell you this, as soon as you started singing, I started getting texts from people saying after they heard you, I'm never singing again. And so that tells you a little bit about the gift that God has given you, which is unbelievable. So tell us, like, a lot's happened since episode 18 when you were on. So, like, you've made a big move recently. Like, tell us what's going on in your life and your ministry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess since we chatted last, since episode 18, I've had two little girls since then. I have a 4.5-year-old named Shiloh, and I have a one and a
Wow.
half year old named Emerald.
Mm.
My family, Steve and I are about to be married 10 years coming up.
Oof,
This is like so crazy.
goodness.
And
Yeah.
we moved our family across the country a year ago to take on roles as worship pastors at a Canadian mega church out here,
Mm, mm,
which has been a huge thing for us. I mean, Steve and I were touring full time for the last decade of our life,
mm,
and so this was a brand new thing for us. And
mm.
yeah, I've toured lots since then. I've put out lots of new music, and so like yeah, lots is going on.
Man, that's outstanding. That's a big move. That's a huge move.
Hmm.
So okay, so now you're balancing like leading a worship ministry as a worship pastor at a multi-site church.
Hmm.
You're traveling, you're recording, you're a wife, you're a mom. Like, how in the world are you doing all of that?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. Like, there's this grace that I feel upon our life to be able to do this. I think when the church asked us to come out, both Steve and I, to oversee their worship and production,
Mm,
um, it wasn't something that we actually wanted to do.
mm,
But the Lord, the Lord has a way
yeah,
of,
yeah,
He spoke to us and told us that this was what He wanted us to do in this season of our life.
mm,
And although it's been a lot, the church has been so amazing. Like, they've been so uh, caring of our hearts and the things that they know that we long for, and caring for the church. Worship for the local church is one of those things, but also like touring is still one of those things. And
mm,
so they've
mm.
been, yeah, they've been really great with allowing us to still tour and stuff. And of course, like, you add two little kids to the mix with we have no family out here either. So it's just been like
Wow.
hard, but the Lord has provided the right people to come in and help us where we need help. So yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
Hmm.
Amen. Wow. Well, if you're listening to this, I'm going to say something that you don't hear me say very often. And I'm going to tell you, anytime Brooke Nicholls drops music, you just go grab it. It's just do it. Like Nike, just do it. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to pray about it. Just do it. And so you just dropped a new single called Whatever You Say.
Yeah.
You just did a Whatever You Say tour. Maybe there's a little
Hmm.
more of that coming. Like, tell us about the song, and where'd it come from, and what are you seeing as you're sharing it with people?
Well, yeah, I think one of the things that I've learned in this last season of my life is like obedience doesn't always look like we think it's going to look. I think the short of it was when the Lord told us to take this job out and move our family across the country. My baby was she was only 8 months old at the time.
Oh,
We had just bought a house back in Toronto, and uh, it yeah, it just didn't make sense for us to
mm,
move,
mm,
but we really felt the strong tug on our hearts that like the Lord was telling us to
mm,
go. He was putting us
yeah,
on assignment to go and do his work. And so
mm,
we were here for a few months, and my husband came to me and said, "Hey, I wrote this course. I want you to hear it." And I could tell he was a little bit bashful. Like, it's really vulnerable, to bring songs to your spouse and when I do that, he like rips them apart. He's like, oh, this should go up here. This should be set, so I was like ready. I'm like, all right, bring me your song, babe. Like, anyways, he brings me this song, and it's just this beautiful prayer of whatever you say, I'll say amen. And it really hit me because I think it was so beautiful because it had come from his heart. Yeah. And the number of months that we had spent out here prior to him bringing me this song had actually been really hard. Like, people don't talk a lot about transition. I didn't know what it would feel like to leave behind my whole life, my whole family, my home, my everything I had built to come and pastor this church. We just didn't know. Yeah, we just didn't know. And everyone would say like, oh, the Lord is going to bless you for that faithfulness, for that obedience. The Lord is going to bless you. And I think what I learned is that sometimes in our culture, we think blessings are like, we think of the prosperity gospel, maybe. We think like God's going to open doors for you. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be all the things. And actually what I'm learning in this season is like, blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. And that is us in this season. It doesn't mean we don't love our job. It doesn't mean we don't love our church, but with the act of obedience comes grieving and comes hard times. But our desire is that above all is that we would be people of God that just like follow God, that follow his voice, that know his voice and can go where he leads us. And so our prayer for this song is that like people listening to this would feel that whatever you say, I'll say amen. I remember, Brian, I want to tell you this. It was during COVID, actually. I felt the Lord tell me to give my car to somebody. And I was like, that's like insane, God. Like, first of all, like cars are expensive.
Yeah.
If I was going to sell this car, I mean, we could really use the money. And I felt the Lord say to me, like, you need to give your car to this woman. And I didn't know at the time she was praying for a car. She didn't have the money for a vehicle, but she needed a car. And I remember being at a church as a guest leading worship. And I was, this is going to sound crazy because I've never done this before, but we were leading worship. I leaned over to Steve and said like, hey, the Lord's telling me to do this. And Steve is just like, he's the best. He would give everything we have away tomorrow if like, if that was a thing. So I leaned over, I said like, I'm crying. I say, I feel the Lord telling me to give my car away to that woman. So he goes, great, go give it to her. I'm like, okay. So I go up on stage. I've led worship already. I go up and I tell the pastors want me to do it from stage. And I'm like, oh, this is like, no, like this is, and they're like, no, do it from stage. They're like, you have no idea what your obedience is going to do in somebody else's life. So I go up, I'm weeping, I'm shaking. First of all, I'm like, the Lord has told me. I give this car to this woman. She can't believe it. This is what she's been asking the Lord for. And long story short is that like your obedience to God is actually like planting a seed for your future. I really believe that, for like the things to come. So now fast forward 5 years. I'm back in that same church while I was on tour, just, a few weeks ago. My transmission in my tour van dies. It drops out. Well, I have a whole tour across Canada to do with this van still. And I'm like, what do we do? I'm back at this church leading worship as a guest. Anyways, long story short, a man on the Sunday that I'm their guest leading, he gives his life to Jesus. Well, that next morning we end up in the transmission shop. And guess who is the manager of the transmission shop? The man who gave his life to Jesus yesterday at the service we were leading. He's there. We leave our van with him. We get rentals. We cross the country in these rentals. We come back. My transmission has been paid for completely in full. Who was it? We don't know. But it all started from whatever you say, I'll say amen. It all started from being in that church that 1 week, giving my car to this woman 5 years ago, being back there all these years later. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't why we do what we do. This isn't why we say yes to Jesus. Of course not. But we have to trust that our yes to Jesus is more than just a yes in the moment, And so, yeah, my prayer for my girls even is that they would see Steve and I as examples of like obedient lovers of Jesus.
Mm.
And so my prayer is just that we would have hearts that just like long for the presence of God, long for his move of God. And with that longing, with that desire, comes obedience to whatever he says. And so here we are across the country doing this thing, seeing his hand all over it, and to be honest, grieving in the midst of it, and doing my best to point people to Jesus along the way. So,
yeah. Remind me, Brooke, you had been in Toronto. How long had you been there?
Oh, wow. Well, I guess before we moved, when Steve and I met, we lived in Toronto, right downtown, and we were there for a few years. And then we moved out just outside of the city. And we bought a house just outside the city. So we were there. I mean, we've been in that area our whole lives.
Golly, man. And there are probably lots of people listening to this who have lived that ministry story, leaving something, the only thing they've known, the only area they've known, going to a place where they don't know anyone. They don't, like you said, you don't have family. What an encouragement to them of doing the obedient thing.
Thank you.
That got me. You got me crying. It only took you 14 minutes. You got me crying. I was reaching for the Kleenex. Wow. Okay. So at this Christmas, you're headed out with a friend of the podcast, Don Moen.
Yeah.
Tell us about that tour.
Yeah, we're doing a Christmas tour across Canada. I mean, Canada loves him. I mean, who doesn't love Don Moen? He's the best. A cute story was the first tour I ever did with Don. I was pregnant with my second daughter, and I hadn't told anybody really because I was so sick. I was just like, like you just making a baby, no big deal. Your body's just like whatever, doing what your body does. And I remember before every night, when you're about to go on stage and you're in that like back part of the stage there. I'd always be like, I'll be right back. And I'd like run to the bathroom and I'd like throw up really quick. And then I'd run back. So I ended up having to tell them, hey guys, just so you know, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't have the flu. You don't have to stay away from me. I'm actually like pregnant. I'm 4 months pregnant. Yeah. And it was so cute the way like Don, actually Paul Baloche was also on that tour. And like these guys, like they were like they came alongside me like dads, always checking in on me. Are you okay? Are you hydrated? What do you need? I was like, oh, you guys are so sweet. So it was I'm looking forward to this Christmas tour. It's going to be really special, another special one. So.
And it's just in Canada. The dates are just in Canada.
That's right. Yeah, just in Canada.
Yeah, we got to get some American dates, some down here across the border for Brooke Nicholls.
Oh, it'd be awesome. It'd be so good.
I need to get to the Brooke Nicholls date. Not just because I hope you'll give me your car, but I just love to experience one, man. We got to get some dates down here. Okay, so again, go to brookenichols.ca is her website. There's tons of music you can grab on there. You have devotionals that you've written. People need to grab. Please check those out and trust me. If her voice, her ministry is new to you, this is stuff you need in your life. I can promise you that. The new single, incredible. Is there more music coming soon?
I've been writing a lot. I feel like in this season, like how can I not be? There's so many, so many laughs coming out of me. Right. There will be more for sure. I'm also working on right now another book, my third devotional. I love to write, like just in general. If I can encourage somebody with whatever's going on in my wild life, then I feel blessed by that. So just working on like a ton of things right now.
Yeah. Well, be sure you guys go to her website and check all that stuff out. It's all great. As you know, we start as a meme account. Like you've been family, like since the beginning. And we always like to ask people, have you ever been leading worship and you had a plan and the plan didn't work, or something changed, something happened technically, or the train just left the tracks. Has that ever happened? Probably not to you, but it's happened to me all the time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course it's happened. Of course. I've, I remember, like, when tracks first, like, kind of came about,
Oh
everyone was
gosh,
kind of getting
yes,
their bearings
yes.
with it. I mean, there was many times where it was like verse 2, 3, and I was like, what? Oh, who am I? He's like, oh, the track's already halfway through the verse, and I'm like, just uh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I have
yes.
I have a funny worship leading story though. It happened in my early days. I remember I was wearing, like, I sweat like crazy when I'm leading. Like, I give all I have. It's like I've run a marathon. And I mean, I'm sure every worship leader, like,
Yeah,
sweats like crazy when we're leading worship, but I was wearing
yeah,
this like
yeah.
dark green button up shirt. And because I was so sweaty, the dark green, or so it was like a light green. It turned like
Yeah.
dark green under down to my hips, basically. I was like sweating. So the first set of this worship is done, and I go to the bathroom and I like stuff my armpits with paper towels. And I'm like, oh Lord, like absorb some of this sweat. This is so embarrassing. So then I go out for my last set, but I forget to take out I forget that I've stuffed my armpits with paper towels. I remember it was singing "What a Beautiful Name." I remember it like it was yesterday. I go out on stage and what a beautiful name. Out goes all the paper towels. But I don't see the paper towels fall out of my shirt because, like, my eyes are closed. I'm worshiping,
Yeah,
obviously.
right.
I don't feel them come out until I take a step to the side. And now I've stepped on the paper towels and I'm sliding across the stage because,
Oh,
like,
God.
so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is going really good. This is going really good. That was probably one of my most embarrassing worship leading
Oh my
moments.
gosh, that is incredible. That is incredible. That may be one of the best ones we've ever heard.
So now I just wear black.
Um,
I just wear black. So
yeah, exactly, exactly. It works for everybody. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. We're going to get to the big room question here in just a second. But if you're listening, make sure you go grab the new single, Whatever You Say, from Brooke Nicholls. Follow her on the socials at Brooke Nicholls, and it's Nicholls.
Mhm.
And yeah, give her a follow. You will absolutely love it. Well, okay, so it's been a long time since you answered this question, but we always end our conversations with the big room question. So if we could gather all the worship leaders and all their volunteers and all the production leaders and all their volunteers, got them all together in one big room, and we gave you a microphone, what would you want to say to them about what we do in the local church?
Yeah, I think, like, what we do obviously really matters because it's
Mm,
creating a space for people to encounter Jesus.
come on,
And
man.
I'm always reminded that, like, when we are cultivating a space for us to encounter Jesus, like, that's where, like, freedom happens. That's where people find
Mm,
their joy and their peace and their hope. And so I think for me, one of the things that I love to say to my volunteers and the people on my staff is just like, thank you for your yes.
mm,
There's Your yes is like eternal, and
mm,
you will
mm.
never know the impact that your yes has. We know the here and the now, but in 20 years from now, the 30 years, 40 years, 50 years from now,
Yeah, yeah.
the our yes today, it's just there's this ripple effect that will go into eternity. And so,
Mm,
yeah, I'm really grateful for all volunteers in worship and production because I think sometimes it's easy to see, like, the leader on stage and think, like, oh, that's the person, but actually
mm,
that's one of the people.
mm.
It's like all of us are playing this role to create this space, and
Absolutely.
it's just so powerful. Yeah, and I think, sorry, one other thing that comes to mind is, like, I think we can get in this place of doing for God. We serve
Mm,
on a Sunday, we show up at rehearsal on a Wednesday, and we do for God, and just not to forget that even when you're doing for God, sorry, re- remember to be with God, to spend time
yeah.
with Him, and because that's where you're going to be able to serve from, is that intimate
Mm,
place,
mm,
and to not confuse the two.
mm,
Um,
mm.
that was one thing recently that really hit me, actually, being
Mhm.
on tour. It's just like, I'm doing this thing every night. I'm with God,
Yeah.
but it's
Right.
like, yeah, I'm doing for God, but, like, that's different than just, like, being with Him. in the
Mm,
secret place.
mm,
So, yeah, just a reminder to worship and production, just to be with Jesus and let yourself
mm.
serve and lead from that place.
Man, that's so good. What a great reminder, man. And it's so easy because it's not going to happen unless you intentionally uh, set aside that time. No one's going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, I'm going to hold the phone calls so you can really spend some time with Jesus." If you're at a
Hmm.
church where they do that, God bless you. I've never served a church like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, man, make time to be with Him.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so important, man. So important. Guys, make sure you go follow Brooke Nicholls on her socials and grab this new single. And I'll grab all of her music while you're there. Grab both the devotionals, and we'll be excited to see book number 3 come out. We'll have to do this again, and I can promise you it will not be 7 years before we do it again. This time, that is on me, the chief doink. We will do this again much sooner than that. So thank you so much for
Oh,
taking the time.
thank you, Brian. Thanks so much.
Man, oh man, that was so good. That was so good. We always love time with Brooke. She's a deep well, and then man, she can pop you with a zinger, and make you start cracking up. She's just amazing. We love Brooke. Again, make sure you go grab that new single. Grab all of her music, because it will bless and encourage you. I can promise you that. Well, do you know what time it is? It's time for prayer concerns. And prayer concerns, guys, if you just found us, you know how you get those unhinged comments from your congregation sometimes. Maybe they just didn't care for the service. They thought it was too loud. They didn't like the songs you sang, the jeans you wore, or if you wore a hat. Oh, my word, if you wore a hat. Well, people send those in to us, and we share them on the podcast each week, not to laugh at them, but to laugh with them, and just to be reminded, man, we're all wrestling the same alligators out here, man. We're all just trying to get our congregations to take steps closer to Jesus, right? As Pastor Scott always says. And so, yeah, people sometimes get a little unhinged. I know they've said stuff to you if you're listening, if you've been in ministry for 5 minutes. So send them to us. We'll never share your name, or we'll protect your church's name, of course, with anonymity, as they say. But we do share these every week on the podcast. So you can DM yours to us on the socials, or jump over to worshipleaderprobs.com. That's our website. Click on prayer concerns up in the menu, and share yours with us there. So, let's dive right in. Prayer concern number 1. I got a song request recently, and it just says, "Can you please sing Love Can Build a Bridge by the Judds?" I do know that song. I have just not thought about it in a really long time. Can Love Can Build a Bridge by the Judds. Yeah, by the Judds. Yeah, I don't know how many of you are doing Judds music out there in your services, or maybe what made them think that would be an appropriate uh, request, but there you have it. Love Can Build a Bridge by the Judds. Number 2, prayer concern number 2. You should really change the lyrics, all the lyrics, to reflect the King James Version. Hey, you know what? If the worst thing about that one is that they read their Bible and they happen to read the King James Version and they know their Bible frontwards and backwards, that's a good thing, right? Can't really fault them for that. That's their preference. And, you know, there it is. There it is. Okay, number 3, prayer concern number 3. So this is a back and forth. And if you've listened for a while, you know those are my favorite. So I just read them as they come, fam. Okay, so here's what it says. Sweet little old lady. Honey, I noticed your husband hasn't been coming to church with you. I've been praying for him. Me. Oh, thank you so much. But he's actually here every Sunday. He's been up in the balcony running the slides. Sweet little old lady. Praise Jesus. My prayers worked. Me. Yes, ma'am, they sure did. I mean, I guess they did. They did. I mean, she was praying that he would come to church and he came, right? And actually he even he got involved. He took like an action step. He got involved in the work of the ministry. So thumbs up from this guy. Okay, prayer concern number 4. I got a comment that said, "Oh, you're pregnant with your 4th boy. Whoa, that's a lot of kids. Are you going to get fixed now?" So the personal boundaries that get crossed sometimes. I I'm a boundaries guy. I'm a big boundaries guy. And so if you're listening, just respect boundaries, I think, with other people. And I don't know what else to say about that. I probably wouldn't do that a whole lot. Okay, here's the last one. The bottom of the pudding cup, prayer concern number 5. This comment was a congregational conversation. And the person said, "I actually thought you were married to the children's pastor and just always made eyes at the worship leader." This person says, "I am married to the worship leader." So, obviously, if I'm making eyes at the worship leader, that's because I married the worship leader. And, thanks for noticing, I guess. I guess. Thanks for noticing, man. Oh, fam. So those are prayer concerns. Please, please send yours in to us. I know you've got them. DM them to us on any of the socials or jump over to worshipleaderprobs.com. Click on the prayer concerns tab and submit yours anonymously there. Well, guys, it's been a busy, busy fall for us. We had an absolute blast at Experience Conference 2025. And I want to encourage you to register for 2026. It'll be here before you know it, but we're talking to you now because it gives you an entire year to talk to your leadership, to gather budget funds, and make sure that you're squared away there financially. So you should come. You should bring your team with you. Again, that's Experience Conference 2026. There's a link in our bio, and I really, really do hope to see you there because it's a really, really special conference. A worship karaoke. We dropped a new episode last week. Me and Mrs. Probs, Kim Tabor, jumped in the car, and you know, uh, if you've watched the episode, I mean, things were said, stories were told. I have a version of how we got together. She has a version of how we got together. So I'm just letting her have her moment. And someday I'll, refresh you on the truth of how that actually happened. I'm kidding. I love her dearly. And we had an absolute blast for that. But we had a conversation about what it's like to be married and serving together in ministry. I'm assuming many of you can relate because you probably serve in ministry with your spouse. And so I hope you'll check that out. Go subscribe to the old Worship Probs YouTube at Worship Probs, and you can watch full episodes of Worship Karaoke over there. But this was, I believe, season 5, episode 1. And we had an absolute blast. But yeah, the different challenges that are involved in when you're married and you're serving in ministry together. And there's a whole gamut of stuff that we covered. So I hope that conversation encourages you. And, we've been getting lots of calls about worship retreats. And this is something Kim and I have been doing for local churches for a long, long time. And we've got several of them scheduled this fall, and we're looking at dates in 2026. If you are interested in that, these are really, really great days. Something really special happens when you and your team get to walk through an experience together as a team. It can be really, really a powerful time for growth. And we would love to talk with you about coming and scheduling a retreat with your team. There's all kinds of, we talk a lot about heart and spiritual preparation. We talk about practical preparation. And, it's like being an evangelist. We can come in and say stuff to your team that maybe you can't get away with saying. And I promise you, we will. But we do like spiritual preparation, heart preparation, team building, and then some practical preparation. We do breakouts. Kim is her degree is in voice, and she does a fantastic kind of a breakout for all your vocalists. Or if you have a choir and a praise team, they can go all together, and she'll lead them through a workshop for vocals. It's like a master class right there in your own building. And then I usually take the band and production teams, and we can do breakouts for all of that. And it's a great, great day. We'll end with communion and what is a really meaningful time of team building. And then oftentimes we'll tack on to the day a big rehearsal with everybody, kind of putting into practice the things that we've learned and talked about that day, and we'll have a big rehearsal together. And then if you're interested, we can stay over and lead with your team on Sundays. And so we've been doing these for a long time. It's one of my favorite things that we get to do, and we just absolutely love the local church and how God is using you all. And you know what? This has been a really tough time. This has been a really tough time in our world, and especially those of you who live in the United States. We're walking through a tough season here, and I know God is using you. I know He's using you powerfully. And if you would like to talk with us about partnering on one of these retreats, and it's customizable for sure, shoot me an email, info@worshipleaderprobs.com. There's, I think, a link in our bio for this as well, but info@worshipleaderprobs.com. And let's talk about what that could look like, or we could come to your team night, or whatever you might be interested in. We'd love to put together something that really hits the bullseye for your church and your team. So, guys, I'm always grateful for the time with you. I feel like we're just, I wouldn't be drinking coffee. I'd be drinking Diet Ski, or maybe one of these delicious vitamin water. I'm drinking the zero sugar version because my wife is taking good care of me. Orange Rise, zero sugar. I'd be drinking one of those, and we're just having a chat, man. Having a chat about ministry, and I love that so much. Do me a favor, remember to hit subscribe wherever you're listening today. And if you're listening on Podstock or Pod Ears or whatever, there's a million podcast platforms now. Wherever you're listening, jump over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and a really fresh review. That goes a long way it's not just my fragile ego. I promise you, it does help. I'm going to make up a word here. Algorithmically. That may or may not be a word, but it wouldn't be the first one I've made up on here. So it really helps algorithmically to get the podcast out to more people. And that's what we want to do. And we hope you'll share it as you've listened, post it to your story, share it on your Facebook, whatever platform you follow us on, share it up, man. We need your help always in helping to spread the word. And thanks so much for following us on all the socials. We're at Worship Probs on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Threads. And over on the TikTok, we're Worship Leader Probs. So we got a little bit of a different name on there. And some of you know the story of that, and some of you don't, and that's okay. And we'd love to have you join our Worship Probs community group on Facebook. That's a private group. 3 questions to get in there. What's the name of this group? Okay. Number 2, how do you serve on your team? What do you do on your church's worship team? Number 3, what's the name of your church? That's it. But it does help me to keep the spammers out. So please answer those questions. And over on X, you can join us by just looking for the hashtag Worship Leader Probs. Well, again, a huge thanks to Ali Bajanos at Ali Be Creative for her excellent work on the podcast. If you're looking for help, any kind of creative help, but especially with consulting or design, branding, you need some social media help, you need somebody to coach your church's social media team or your business's social media team, hit her up at Ali Bajanos. We'll tag her in the description, and she's amazing. We are big Ali B fans over here at Worship Probs. She'll doing a great job for you, for your business and your church. And thanks to my friend Scott Hoke for our intro. Guys, we love you. And it's always great to spend some time with you. Thanks so much for listening to episode 354 of the Worship Probs podcast. Until next time. Deuces.